Hello everybody, Chris Wood here. Spencer Mills 14716, ex-chief or commander before leaving Napanee 2019. Drove a white Jeep Wrangler. Staff sergeants years 2019, 2021. Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas. Stacy, a mental health worker, was Daily Tea Company in Napanee. Now Kingston and Shelley Huffner. They're guilty of injuring, torture crimes, sex assault, kidnapping, full identity theft on me over the course of 4 years, false arrest, medical blacklisting, having my mother stalked and murdered, having my dogs killed, revenge retaliation on me for speaking of their human homeless trafficking and homeless exploitation out of the Morning Star mission. As a result, I became a target. Back in 2019, ex-OPP chief before he left Napanee in August, drove a white Jeep Wrangler, had me shot. I've been through full identity theft, identity changes by one Bill Woldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Dale Hartwick, a Ray LeBeau, a Tony Hearns, a Robert Barry, who happens to be an ex-jail guard from Ottawa. They are human traffickers, sex slavery traffickers, children to pedophiles, adults to sex offenders, drug trafficking, and drug lacing here in Napanee. The ones that are overdosing and dying from the drugs is Blair Hardy, Jason Van Alstyne, through Robert Kane, 7224, drug cop. Police that need to be arrested and criminally felony charged. Spencer Mills once again, 14716, ex-chief or commander again. Staff sergeants, kidnapping, sodomy, sex assault, year 2019, 2021. Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas, Stacy and Shelley Huffner once again. These are very seriously dangerous police here in Napanee, and the public needs to be aware of it. I have been seriously brain injured. I have been skull split. I have been through many different identity changes with 100% proof, medical blacklisting to prevent me helping proof, medical file falsifications through doctors because of lies against me, stating that I have long criminal record and history, which is not true in any way, shape, or form. I have none except for being falsely charged to fuck me over for the cops and doctors involved in this to get away with the crimes that they are guilty of. Lies against me about having long psychological record and history, not true in any way, shape, or form. They're using badges, positions, credentials, and their lies and their false guise of law to be above suspicion of the crimes that they are committing on the poor, homeless, elderly, and disabled. Lies about being suicidal, self-harm are not true. I've been trying to save my life. I am life. I'm certainly not fucking suicidal, and if I was, I'm sure the hell not gonna say anything about it. I would just have done it, you sons of bitches, and that's a fucking fact. Lies about being on drugs I do not do, and this is all done so they can justify the crimes that they are committing. Families are murdered and missing, the natives. It is Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. It is Ontario Provincial Police in general. They're kidnapping, they're human trafficking, they're sex slavery trafficking, obviously false arrest and full identity theft and changes on victims, which I've been going through for 4 years, while being called a liar, while being accused of hallucinating, while being accused of being delusional, and nobody wanting to see any proof. 3 hospitals are involved in aiding OPP in their crimes. They're guilty of harboring a inmate sex offender who used to live at 34 Water Street here in Napanee, now lives at 149 Center Street North, or was. He was going by the name Bill Woldridge. He's bald, glasses. He thinks that he and I were switched at birth, believes that he's my dad, and thinks that he is Harry Potter. He was also stalking my mother, and he murdered my mother, S. Wood, December 20th, 2020. There's Blair Hardy, who is a human trafficker, a drug trafficker. He's guilty of rapes. He raped a woman named Olivia here before she overdosed. He's guilty of overdosing and murdering Jack Clark for OPP with Jason Van Alstyne. They are the ones that are lacing the drugs here in Napanee that the addict junkies are buying and dying from. It is through them. They're also doing it in Kingston at the hub through the homeless to cause murders. Whether anybody wants to believe it or not, I've been trying to get medical help, arrest, and everything else with no help with being stopped every step of the way. I'm 51 years old and I'm going through this because I spoke police crimes, and the ones that need to be arrested and charged with and for OPP because they are aiding them for money, freedom, drop charges, and their drugs of choice here. And this is why OPP are using these pieces of shit. There is an Isaac, there is a Robert Berry also, there is a Jimmy Perry, there's Michelle Irish, there is a Holly Carlisle, there is a Kelly Maxwell, there is a woman that lives on the corner of Center and Thomas Street here in Napanee. It's a crack shack. She's an obese blonde woman. There is ones that live up beside Video 99. There is a Sherry, and there is others where Blair Hardy happens to hide out while being untouchable through the fucking cops while committing this crime on me and proving it and not being able to do a damn thing about it. All because I spoke police crimes, and this is how they traffic, frame, and murder. But anyway, Bill Woldridge, 149 Center Street North, the one that was stalking my mother, the one that believes he is me, believes that we were his, also Harry Potter as well. He's highly delusional, highly psychotic. He is a heroin addict. He hangs out and frequents the Loaf and Ale, coffee cravings here in Napanee, and also Tim Hortons, where he was going to stalk your children for the ex-OPP chief for pedophilia, slave trafficking. And that's a fucking fact. I was charged by the hospital here for harassment for naming names of doctors who are guilty of very serious felony crimes and aiding OPP and these pieces of shit in their crimes while having me medically blacklisted, file falsifications, medical treatment refusals, discrimination, and being criminally and negligently involved, and had me charged, and that was their way to get out of their fucking crimes that they are guilty of. And that worked perfect for OPP because that was their way to get my pitch everything they needed. Fuck. Blair Hardy, obsessed homosexual lowlife piece of shit, used to drive a Mercedes and hang out with Shelley Barchet at the Morning Star Mission. This is also him. This is Bill Woldridge, the one that lives at 149 Center Street North. His bald glasses, goatee sometimes. And he's also Hells Angels Ontario chapter captain and a child stalker for ex-OPP chief or commander from August 2019. They can't have it getting out that they are committing murders, they are committing sex assaults, and they are committing human trafficking, full fucking identity thefts, injuring, torture crimes, and getting away with it with hospitals and doctors who are gladly aiding them because it was being done to poor, elderly, homeless, disabled. As a matter of fact, anybody who sees this, watch your bank accounts around these pieces of shit, because they're also guilty of financial thefts and frauds, and welfare, disability, pension thefts and frauds as well. This is a picture of me of some of the deforming I've been through while not being able to do anything about it and being called a fucking liar. This is supposed to be a hallucination, delusion, according to hospitals and doctors, or just a headache, or me on drugs, which I don't do. Dale Wooldridge and Blair Hardy. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Van Alstyne. He's most likely hiding at Ray LeBlow's, or with Tyler Lake, or on Water Street. He was also with Jack Clark the day that he died as well, so he's involved with that murder of Jack. Here's another picture of him. He's already going around Napanee saying that he's me, the fucking delusional crackhead little piece of shit junkie. I'm 51 years old, and he is approximately 35, 40 years old, and committing identity theft on me through the police. It's kind of too convenient how I'm starting to look a lot like him and Tyler Lake, and also Blair Hardy at the same time, and Hurtwicks. This is Bert Hustler. These are all human traffickers and drug traffickers with and for OPP here at Napanee. They're untouchables. This is who they charged $22,000 for to have arrested. $149 Center Street North again, unless he's moved or back in hiding through the cops. Tyler Teabag Lake. He's guilty of torturing my dog Runt back last year and killing him in March of 2023. Him and Ray LeBlow. How OPP are getting away with this, like I said before, their lies, their false guise of law, their badges, their positions. Here's another picture, and you can obviously tell where my skull's been burned out. I've not had any surgeries either. And all of these are called just a headache or Chris on drugs drying out, which I don't fucking do, but I'm in excruciating pain going through this 24/7, and there is not a fucking thing I can do. I cannot get medical help. I cannot get legal help. I cannot get human rights help. They've all been conveniently taken away from me. I have no rights whatsoever while this is happening to me, and I can very well damn well prove it. And this is why the cops are so fucking successful with their crimes. I can just imagine how many other murders they've committed, how many other identity thefts and framing of innocent people because of them speaking of their crimes to fuck them over. How many bloodlines have they actually murdered? How many children have they actually kidnapped and fucked? How many? There's a lot of things OPP need to answer for. Going and being surrounded, hands on guns to prevent anything legal on them. Well, this is happening to me. As it stands right now, OPP, if I go out and anything happens to me, there will be no mistaken identity. And anything happens to me by anybody, it will be to shut me up, and it will be to fuck me over even more. And I will not be proven wrong, so you can continue to get out of this and hide while this is taking place with me, all through you and your fucking boyfriend. This is what happens when you speak up and try to save lives from cops. You get stalked, your mother gets murdered, your dogs get killed, and go through full identity theft. With proof. While being called a delusional, hallucinating liar because who it's being done by. And yes, even a CEO and patient relations from a hospital are even involved in having me falsely charged and also aiding in these crimes so their hospital and doctors can get away with what they are getting away with, aiding these pieces of shit. OPP have been using this since the 1960s, and luckily nobody around Napanee knows about it or anywhere else. It also enables for invasive surveillance too, while destroying and torturing their victims. That is what I was shot with by ex-OPP chief in my right ear, and then the problems began back in 2019 before he left. The whole right side of my head is completely and totally dead. I have no feeling whatsoever. Nothing. So damage done, time bought. My identity theft and fucking brain injuring and everything else against me is done. But one way or another, you are gonna pay for this. You will answer for it, you fucking terrorist bastards. Me being the end of my bloodline. Anytime OPP wants to pay to have my dad exhumed to prove this, I'm more than willing to let you. I think about $150 million lawsuit would be perfect. $50 million for the murder of my mother, $50 million for the crimes against me, and $50 million because I am the end of my bloodline. It won't help any, but it will sure break your fucking drug trafficking, human trafficking, extortion, piggy bank that you have. As a matter of fact, if your drug-fed, money-paid pieces of shit have been getting paid $300 a day between every one of them, there has been an estimated $2,190,000 forked out to these bastards over the course of 4 years. And this is possibly how OPP are laundering the money, along with a certain mission here in town. There is also David Smith, who is involved with this as well. He is a priest or a preacher. He is very much involved. He delivered me my last meal, right Judas, before Spencer Mills showed up in 2019 with his threats and intimidation after I was shot. The one known as Bill Woldridge then came on, medical blacklisting me, getting CAT scans, my CAT scans, original ones, me being given fake ones, and my original ones, Spencer Mills is in possession of them. OPP Spencer Mills has my original CAT scans from 2019 through the hospital.